Hey guys, I have a video today that I think you're gonna want to check out. It moves between my conversation with the amazing Orianthi and my own studio, kind of putting into demonstration what Orianthi says throughout our conversation together. If you've never heard of Orianthi, she has a really cool name, and she's also played guitar with people like Michael Jackson and Carlos Santana, Carrie Underwood. The list is long and her talents are many, but I really want to get to the heart of her conversation and kind of demonstrate how meaningful some of the advice she gave in this video is. And we only had a little time together, so I didn't really actually talk that much. I just basically am putting her discussion in for you to see and then kind of breaking it down in my own way and putting her words into action throughout this video. So I put a lot of time and energy into this. I really hope you enjoy it. It was a ton of fun to make and extremely enlightening in a lot of different ways. So without further ado, from the PRS booth at the NAMM show, this is my conversation with Orianthi. If you get stuck in a musical rut, for example, you're trying to practice and everything you practice kind of sounds dull, do you have a way to break out of those certain situations that happen to pretty much every guitar player?
Pick up another instrument up. Like I play drums and bass and keyboards as well, and the different voicings and stuff like that, you know, for me, like kind of inspires me to play differently on the guitar. So if I'm sitting with the guitar for too long and I'm like trying different things or writing a song or something, right, I'm looking for something out of the box, I'll go to the piano because different voicings of the chords and everything will inspire me differently.
I wouldn't say all the time, but I would say at least once a month I'm just feeling like I don't know what I'm gonna do next, whether it's filming a video or the next original piece of music or lick that I'm gonna write. It just feels like I got nothing left. So I took Orianthi's advice to heart when I was feeling this way, and well, this is what I came up with. All right, so I have a Logic session here. I'm gonna just play whatever comes to me. I'm not the best piano player, but maybe that's the point of what Orianthi's saying. It's just gonna change my perspective a little bit. Limit me in a good way. I've been kind of experimenting a little bit with a bunch of different vocal samples and vocoder type sounds. Also gonna change this sample sound. Nice. Gonna go through and see if something inspires me. Could be cool, like a glitchy sort of thing. What if I build a beat around that? That's the fat snare. When in doubt, add loops. Bump up the tempo too. Everything right here needs to go except the melody note. Alright, all of a sudden I'm feeling a bass line, like a little bass. There it is.
And then when I pick up the guitar, it's kind of new again. Like when you leave it alone for a minute and then you go back to it. And that's what I try to do also when I'm off tour, and that I used to just leave the guitar for a minute and then come back to it, and it's a new approach. Yeah. You know?
have been listening to a little bit of Polyphia lately, so that's kind of what inspired that. And that actually leads into the next part of my conversation with Orianthi, where she talks about not necessarily being a copy of somebody, but also having influences and the importance of influences. And she also gives some recommendations for getting inspired and feeling some fire inside.
My favorite live concerts, which always clears the slate for me and is very inspiring, is Sacred Fire.
Sacred Fire?
Sacred Fire, Santana,
Sacred Fire.
live in Mexico. The way that Carlos approached every solo and every song, it was like a song within a song. It was beautiful, and it's so melodic, and it takes you somewhere else. And then for Fire, listen to live at the Macombo, Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know what I mean? If you want that, if you want to be for fire, you know what I mean? Your spirit. When you want to pick up a guitar, like before a show, sometimes you put that on, and it puts you in there.
And if you want a couple more recommendations from me, maybe some albums you haven't heard or some bands you haven't heard before, I would check out Tremors by Son, or I would check out Becatomist by Grizzly Bear, or maybe check out Morning View by Incubus. And of course, I know I'm a little late to the game, but I saw them in concert at the NAMM show. Polyphia album called New Levels, New Devils is extremely awesome too. Now, I want to share a little part of Orianthi's past, how she kind of came to become the guitar player she is. It was a really interesting story. She actually started playing in pubs when she was 14 and 15 years old. She left school and just decided to start her music career in Australia then and there, which I think is radical and insane and awesome.
I joined 3 cover bands. I left school when I was 15, and I just went out and gigged, 3 nights a week and earned pocket money that way. And then, I just saved up, came over to America, and, it was the whole thing for me was just like playing in the pubs and finding my voice, like vocally, and getting confidence. And it was a pretty rough situation when you're in the Australian pubs and people are drunk and throwing things and falling into the...
And how old were you at that?
15.
15, okay.
Yeah.
That's hard as an adult, let alone
Oh yeah.
15-year-old.
And that's the thing, so I would pile as much makeup as I have on right now, with my hair, teased up and pretend I was older, and so I would to stay in the clubs, and play. And I learned a lot. You learn like what works with the audience, what songs, and soloing, and then how to sing with confidence, all that kind of stuff. And because I was pretty shy. I wasn't shy when I was really young, when I was like 6 or 7. Then I went through this period where I was extremely, I didn't want to sing in front of people, and then I did that and it helped. So.
And I want to take this chance to kind of weave in the fact that it's okay to be nervous, especially when you go to like your first open mic night or go to play guitar in a guitar center or any sort of performance. It's totally natural to be nervous and kind of scared. But if you persevere, you can kind of get over that, even if there are some jerks in the crowd. So that concludes my conversation with Orianthi. I highly recommend you check out her energy straps. They're these really cool guitar straps. There's a link down in the description if you want to check those out. And she also has an album coming out soon that she recorded here in Nashville, actually. I just want to say thank you to PRS for organizing this really awesome and inspiring conversation between myself and Orianthi. And I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching. It's because of you that I get to do things like this. And I think I said that in my last video, but it bears repeating. Until next time, keep shredding.